had picked up. I thought I was done with the fire department, with the moving company when I got to the fire department.
Yeah.
But I was doing like 2 and 3 moves a week, working at the fire department and developing Juice Life and paying for everything. Like I would do a move one day. Like I would get off work in the morning, 7 o'clock from the fire department, 24-hour shift. Go do a move probably at like 8 o'clock from 8 to like 4 or 5. And then try to buy whatever I could buy for Juice Life and go back to work. And then I got a juice at some point.
Yeah.
So that was my other entrepreneurial.
That's a lot of drive too. I think a lot of things that hold people back from entrepreneurship, besides the typical like fear and things like that, is the amount of work and dedication. And the stuff you're telling me is like the hours, countless hours you spent in the library, taking on the extra work, for the moving and things like that. Where do you think you got that kind of drive and that push from?
Honestly, I think that drive came from my mom.
Are you looking to buy or sell your home, but not quite sure if now is the right time? Well, contact Morgan & Co. and allow them to help you make that decision. Morgan & Co. is a leading, top producing company in Central Virginia. Contact Morgan & Co. today at 804-874-6806 or anytime, day or night, at www.morganandcorealty.com. Now back to the episode. Welcome to the Success Leaves Clues podcast, where I find regular people doing extraordinary and phenomenal things in corporate America and entrepreneurship. And of course, I'm your host, Dr. K. I have with me today amazing entrepreneur, Ryan Williams.
Yes, indeed.
Go ahead and introduce yourself, man.
I'm Ryan Williams. I am the owner and founder of Juice Life RVA, located in Richmond, Virginia, 117 North 20th Street in Shockoe Bottom. We're a cold pressed juice company. Started off as a food trailer, and we ended up having to get a brick and mortar after many detours. But it worked out, and things are going well. We just had our 1-year anniversary this past weekend.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Thank you. That's dope.
Thank you.
You hit me with several terms in that intro that I have no idea what they are.
What's that? Oh, okay.
Cold pressed juice, that's one.
Right, okay.
So what's cold pressed juice?
So cold pressed juice is pretty much the healthiest juice you can get without anything being added with. It's like just fruits and vegetables.
Okay.
So the average person would have like a juicer at home, and that's called a centrifugal juicer, right?
Okay.
And so I'm gonna explain this real quick.
Yeah, go ahead. No, break it down for me.
But a centrifugal juicer is one where, let's say you have a carrot and you push it through the tube, and there's a blade that spins, and pulp shoots out one side, juice comes out the other.
Yeah.
So the centrifugal force from that blade that spins is what actually pulls the juice out. That's what extracts the juice. But the blade spins so fast that it actually generates heat. Oh. And so oxidation occurs, meaning that your juice is going to go bad faster than you would actually want it to.
Okay.
So you pretty much, so when you're using like the at-home juicers or the centrifugal juicers where pulp shoots out one side and juice comes out the other, it doesn't really have a shelf life like that. So cold press juicing is similar, but the blade is like a pulverizer instead of a centrifugal blade that spins.
Yeah.
And it doesn't generate heat. So that's why it's called cold press in so many words. And then that allows it, so oxidation doesn't occur. And then you have a 5-day shelf life, 3 to 5 day shelf life. That's within the first 3 days, but you can also freeze them for up to 6 months. So that's kind of what sets our juices apart as far as the extraction method.
Yeah.
And then,
if you freeze it for 6 months, what does it do to the taste and all of that?
The taste is pretty much the same, but it's kind of like if you go to a grocery store and you got organic fruits and vegetables, like you have the organic section, and then you have frozen fruits and vegetables, and those are organic. Anytime you change the temperature of the food or the produce, you lose some nutrients for sure. And then like a lot of times you'll see juice in the grocery store and it may say cold pressed, but it's been pasteurized. Meaning that they either heat it up to a certain temperature or they're trying to kill listeria from being able to just hang out in there and the person that drinks it dies. Okay, so
we don't want that.
yeah, definitely don't want that. But they heat that up just to get rid of that, that way of you hurting yourself by drinking it. And so when you do that, you kill all the good stuff too. You kill the phytonutrients, things that are found in our cold pressed juices that help stop the spread of free radicals that cause cancer.
Okay.
So I know I said a whole lot just now.
Man, you keep hitting me with all this, not only terminology, but methods that I have no idea.
Yeah.
So you also talked about, you had like a mobile distribution first. What was that?
Yeah, so I had an idea in 2015, and I was actually fasting. So I used to fast a lot. Like the whole way that we even got into this Juice Life thing, the whole idea of the business came from me fasting.
Okay.
I was on a 40-day fast. I was only doing juice and smoothies during the day.
Mm.
And then I was eating one meal with the family at night.
Okay.
And I was going like a 40-day fast. I was fasting for an idea for my family to take us to the next level, and I was praying for wisdom to go with it. So it was more of a spiritual fast, but it turned out to work out for the physical as well. So at the end of my fast, I had an interview with the fire department.
Okay.
And then after the fire department interview, I was still in the fast, so I was trying to find a food truck that had juice. I was like on Main Street. I'm trying to find a food truck. I saw paninis, I saw hot dogs, everything else but what I needed. Yeah. So I went all the way to Elwood Thompson, got a juice, and I was like, man, if I could have found this at a food truck, I would have stopped and probably paid more than what I paid for this little $8 glass of beet juice. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So that's where the idea of the whole food truck came about. So eventually
you found it out of personal need.
Personal need, yeah. And I'm like, my friends need to know about this.
Yeah.
And I just wanted to have something for my people to get their blood pressure right and everything. My family, like, just people, because we're raised differently as far as what I eat now. I'm vegan now.
Okay.
But
you weren't vegan back then?
No, I was raised on pork chop sandwiches, steakums,
Uh-huh.
all that kind of stuff.
Was it hard for you to give up all of that stuff and be vegan, or did it just naturally happen after the fast?
It happened, each year I would go on a fast.
Uh-huh.
And so at the end of the fast, like I'm fasting from all of the meats for sure.
Okay.
And so it's like mainly fruits and vegetables. But then it got to a point where at the end of the fast, I'm like, I'm going to get a barbecue sandwich when I finish.
Yeah.
With coleslaw and hot sauce and beans on the side. So I tried that, but I was fasting from pork during the fast. So I get back and it didn't work. So eventually each year I would try that. I don't know why I kept doing it, but I cut off pork one year, I cut off beef the next year, then I cut off chicken. Eventually I was pescatarian, and then this is like part of me developing Juice Life, and then a lot of my customers were vegan. So I said I would try it. I said I was going to do a fast.
Yeah.
And I ended up not going back.
Yeah, a couple of things similar. Well, we fast for religious purposes too. So I know the power, of fasting and things like that, and just dedicating yourself to the Lord and things like that. So never done 45 days. I've done, week, 10 days, things like that. And the other thing is you talk about, how you made your transition over to being vegan. Mm-hmm. And so we've given up a lot of things, my family. And we always find the hardest thing is the kids. Yeah. So me and my wife, we could stick to it, but then the kids, they're at school, so we can't really monitor what they're doing. Yeah. And then for dinner, they don't necessarily want, what we're about to have.
Yeah,
So how you work through that?
So I have two kids. I have an 8-year-old and a 9-year-old, Austin and Savannah. Savannah's told me on numerous occasions that she's pescatarian this week. She's vegetarian the next week, and she's not doing cheese. So anyway, we started the kids off early, like before they knew what Kool-Aid tastes like. Everything that we had for them, like all the juices, apple juice, everything, we cut everything with water, 50%. So they didn't know. So they didn't know about Kool-Aid till later, and was like, "Oh my God, Daddy, we got Kool-Aid." And he like walking upside down. I'm like, y'all gotta chill. Like y'all possessed now.
Yeah.
But I give them their own options. I mean, like I let them choose. So we go to different places, and if we go to like Roots is like Roots is a restaurant where you got good healthy options. Yeah. You can get chicken or you can get shrimp or something added to it, but they choose to go out late. They like, nah, I'm good. I don't want the meat. They might even do mushrooms. But like now they make their own decisions. So if they go to McDonald's, if they make it to McDonald's, which I don't think they have in years now, but it's because somebody else is babysitting them. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, and they like, "Daddy, we went to a McDonald's." I'm like, "Yo, first of all, put your seatbelt on." Yeah, sit back. Right. Because I don't like what's going on. But I can't be in control of all of it. Yeah. But we can at least just give them the tools and let them learn about why Daddy isn't eating chicken or whatever else. Okay. And so I let them make their own decision. They're pretty good at it. So yeah, they like the food, and I let them help me cook. Like we need to
get them involved as much as possible.
Yeah, for sure. Especially with like different foods that kids don't normally want to eat. I let them help, and we're gonna make this right. Like we got to season this because I need y'all to eat this.
Yeah,
for real.
You're gonna like it
for sure. So,
what's the meaning of Juice Life? The word that you branded your business with? What's
Juice Life? Well, so it's a lifestyle.
Okay,
it's a lifestyle more than just a juice bar, as far as like how I see it. So. We came up with the name, myself and my partner Chance. Chance is somebody that helped me in the beginning of development. I'm the one, like I called him when I had the idea. When I had the juice in my hand, I was like, "Yo, I got an idea. Got a good business idea. Get the fellas." I don't even want to tell you though. It's a really good one. But so we sat down, and he's the one that stuck with me. So as far as when we were coming up with like the name Juice Life, well, we knew that it was. Originally, it was just going to be juice.
Okay.
It wasn't even cold pressed juice at first. It was just like the regular centrifugal juice. And then we found out about cold pressed juicing from somebody in Chicago. I'm like, what? We got to bring that to Richmond. Like, they need this. And so, like I said, it's a lifestyle, and we're juicing. That's that in simple. But even the way we wrote out the sign, it's like juice and then life in caps. And then RVA in lowercase. Yeah. And the reason why we want to emphasize the life part more, because a lot of people in our community don't really know about the benefits and how much it can add to your life. Just juicing, just adding it to your diet. You don't got to stop eating the pork chop. I mean, I would rather you not.
Right.
For real. But if you just add these juices to your diet, it's gonna make things a whole lot better anyway. Because like these juices are like your body doesn't know that you're not drinking water when you're drinking. Okay. So when you're drinking the juice, it's going straight to your veins and it's going directly to where it needs to go without any hesitation. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. It's like different. Like if you were to eat spinach, it has to go through the digestion process. But if you drink it, you don't lose anything. Okay. So in the digestion process, a lot of reactions are happening. And as the food's going down, you're left with what you're left with. And sometimes that's good stuff, but you missed out on the other part that it took to fuel that digestion. So when you're drinking it, it's going straight to where it goes. So it's giving you life. And all fruits and vegetables, like a lot of them, you'll see, like if you have a carrot and you cut it in half and you put it in water, it grows sprouts. You know what I'm saying? It grows leaves, like it's like a whole plant. And so I felt like I'd rather put life in my body than death.
Yeah, it makes sense.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I feel like if I'm putting more life in my body, I can't do nothing but give somebody else more life.
Well, I know it gives life. I hear a lot of people talk about how certain juicing recipes can be targeted for like your immune system for, like pre and post workout. Like you gave me the juices that, for post workout. Yeah. I was real sore, real tight. And I want, like no exaggeration, that day I was loose again. Like I felt better. So how do you come up with the recipes, or how do you know what things target what area of the body?
Well, I did a lot of studying in the library before I actually, came out with, hey, we have a juice bar that we want to put out. We have a food truck. Okay. So I used to go to the library a lot. I would go to VCU library, and at 10 o'clock, you have to show your VCU ID. I went to VCU some years ago. Don't have that ID anymore. So I would go in at like 9:55, and especially like around exam time. Yeah, they're pretty much open all night. So I would be in there from 9:50 to like 2 o'clock in the morning, just researching other juice companies, like ones in LA, like big ones, like Juice Press in New York. So I just kind of followed the big guys and kind of, just got ideas, as far as how to work my juice bar. But as far as the recipes, man, I juiced everything. I juiced everything and I researched everything. So I even juiced the onion. Yeah. I juiced
what was that like?
Garlic. It was not good. It was a learning experience. Because I was at the fire department just trying out different juices. And I'm like, oh, man, I know I said I had ginger in this one yesterday. So I'm like writing down stuff. I got notes in my pocket on napkins and stuff. So I was like, man, let me just try to juice this onion and see if it has the same effect as the ginger. It was a bad idea. It was a very bad idea. The name of the juice was King of the Jungle. And it was straight up.
It was more like a challenge. It was more like a challenge. Can you make it through?
It was a nice picture. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I took a picture and posted that, jungle. So we're gonna revisit that.
Okay.
But I just pretty much researched as much as I could, and then things that I was dealing with or my parents would be dealing with.
Mm-hmm.
So like blood pressure stuff, I would find something with beets, and I had to figure out how to make beets not taste like dirt. Because I'm like, I know I need this for energy, all that type of stuff.
Oh, that let the beet drop is
beet drop is
fantastic.
fire, but it wasn't fantastic the whole time.
Oh,
I promise
it
you.
took time.
Yeah, beet drop has changed at least 3 or 4 times.
Okay.
Yeah, but now we solid.
Well, I was gonna say
We got it.
4 times.
Yeah,
This is it. Yeah, it's good.
Yeah. So I had strawberries in there one time.
Uh-huh.
It was like strawberries, grapefruit, celery, and beets, and it was all right. And then I changed it again. I was like, all right, let's get this right. So the kids are my taste testers.
Okay.
So they're very honest.
Yeah, kids are gonna tell you straight up.
Yeah, and it's a trip because these ones they've been practicing and juicing with me, and so they actually like some of the juices that other people may not like, other kids may not like.
Right.
So just starting them off early and just researching a ton.
Right along with the health benefits, you got a thing I always hear: F cancer.
Mm-hmm.
Is that where would that come from?
So F cancer, that's carrot, apple, and lemon. Is to be more specific is carrots, Granny Smith apples,
Okay.
and then it's lemon. F cancer came from there's a guy named Dr. Gerson,
Okay.
and he was a doctor, and he did a thing called they call it Gerson Therapy now.
Okay.
He had a lot of patients, and he didn't like using medicine.
Mm-hmm.
He took a more holistic approach. So he had them juicing. He had them doing 13 10-ounce carrot and Granny Smith apple juices a day. And they were doing, his patients were also doing coffee enemas on the other side. So those two, that combination together, along with a few other things, caused all of his cancer patients cancer to go into remission. So
Dr. Gerson?
Dr. Gerson, his daughter still practices. He died. Okay. You know how that usually happens, so how that happens.
Yeah, right. Like
coincidence. But he was doing well and he was curing a lot of cancer. And so I tried it. I tried the combination of the carrots and the Granny Smith apples. Haven't tried the coffee enema part yet.
You hold off on that one?
Yeah, we're gonna grow. But I just added lemon.
Okay.
But that's where I got the idea from. And so I was like, all right.
So for something like that, how long does it take to get through your body and actually be effective? I mean, one bottle of juice isn't going to do the trick.
Now they had cancer, and I don't know exactly what stages or what procedures they had going on where he would have them drink at 13. But as far as how we do now, a 1-day cleanse to really see the effect of all the juices, it would be 16-ounce juices. So 6 juices a day.
6 juices a day, just for 1 day.
Yep.
And that's a cleanse.
That's a cleanse.
And what does that cleanse do for you?
So it pretty much gives your digestive system a break. While you're doing those 6, you're shooting for a gallon of water throughout the day too.
Okay.
So that'll help curb your appetite a little bit, but also you're giving your digestive system a break, and you're giving it time to reboot and repair itself. That's pretty much what you're doing.
Okay.
So everything else is being pushed through. But the juice is like you just pounding your body with like nutrients, like tons of nutrients. A lot of people do these cleanses because they want to lose weight, and that's like a byproduct.
Yeah, a secondary effect.
Yeah, but I tell people not to use it. Like, don't try to do the juices to lose weight, but do it more so to gain nutrients. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you pretty much, repair your body.
So before Juice Life, I heard you mention some things about you were in the firehouse and offering juice. So that leads me to believe you was a firefighter. Right?
I was a firefighter, yes. So this 1-year anniversary is actually, it's the anniversary of us having normal business hours at Juice Life. And it's also the anniversary of me writing my resignation letter. So I wrote my resignation letter last year, October 25th.
Okay.
And I had been in the fire department for 5 years. And so when I had the idea, when I went to the interview and I got the juice and I was like, man, if I had a food truck to stop it, I would have did that. Yeah. Right then is where God gave me the idea, like in full. And part of it was 3 to 5 years to see if the fire department and Juice Life can coincide and be successfully moved.
So both of those things happened in your life right about the same time.
At the same time. Like when I had the idea for Juice Life, The fire department hit me back from like a 2-year a 2-year wait from me taking the test. Yeah. So they were like, hey man, you did good on the
But
test.
they always talking about they short. How they get a 2-year wait?
You know, I'm not in the logistics
Okay.
of it, so I can't speak on it.
Yeah.
But Richmond has a lot on his hands, and so you know, the department they have a lot of training and stuff to do. Right. So I give them their space. They need 2 years. Go ahead, give them 2 years.
Got it.
Yeah, I had it 2 years, but they hit me back right then. I'm like, is this a distraction? Because I feel like this idea is like golden, and the way I feel about great ideas, business ideas, the only thing to, like, there has to be some type of pull in the opposite direction. And I feel like in this one, it wasn't a bad pull. It was just a different one. And it's like the opposite of a great business idea. Anything that could keep you from pushing towards your business idea would be a safe job.
Absolutely.
Something like when you don't have to worry about the fire department. I don't know if I get fired from the fire. You got to do some really silly stuff to get fired from the fire department. Yeah. Like, his house is burning down. And people still ain't getting fired. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So that was like super safe. And I'm like, I'm just like.
It breeds that complacency.
Yeah. And I'm like, I don't want to work for anybody else anymore. I know I'm not cut out for that. Mm-hmm. I'm not cut out for working for anybody because it just gets frustrating. And I'm thinking about, like, I can just feel the energy of what I'm supposed to be doing. Yeah. And I'm like, I'm caged in over here. I gotta be free. I gotta be free. So.
Hey, I hope you're enjoying the episode. I hate to interrupt, but I had to tell you about a community that I'm a part of. It's called the Morning Meetup. It's where hundreds of entrepreneurs gather every single morning. Look, we share ideas, we motivate each other, we share our successes. It's the perfect environment for you to not only grow as an individual, but as an entrepreneur. It's hosted by my mentor, David Shands. It's every day, Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. It's no better way to start your day. Look, we've got a book club. Imagine hundreds of entrepreneurs reading the exact same book on the exact same chapter. You get to discuss that book and share your thoughts. It's very motivating. It empowers you, and you're ready to start your day. You get all of that for only $1. After that, it goes to $79 a month. I have no doubts that you're going to want to stay and be a part of this community. Look, I'm there every single morning, 8 a.m. The only thing we're missing is you. The link is in the description. Go ahead and click the link. Try it out. Join the community. Look forward to seeing you in the morning. Before firefighting, had you done any other entrepreneurial journeys or tried any other things?
Not exactly. Not really. It was just more working everywhere.
Okay.
I worked everywhere. I worked for every temp agency. I worked at Philip Morris, Bank of America. I worked for a moving company. The last job I had before the fire department was a moving company. And then I ended up, so I was just like helping. Okay. Casually. I'm like, I like working out. I like helping people. I don't mind going to different houses.
Yeah, I get to lift stuff all day.
Yeah, like, I ain't tripping. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're gonna take this and we're gonna approach this as a workout. Okay. So I worked at Hildred Moving and Storage, and I was just like helping drivers, and then I ended up getting my Class B license, and I became a driver. Right. Then I got my Class A license, and I was like, all right, now I'm supervising these guys, and I'm like, really, I want to go contract. Because I hadn't finished school yet. So I was like, what's the quickest way for me to get to 100,000, at least 6 figures somewhere, close to 6 figures. Okay. So I'm like, well, I'm already in this. Let me just use what I got, learn, got what I, do what I do. And I ended up, I wanted to go contract. But my GM was like, hey, you don't want to be a businessman, do you? In so many words. And I'm okay, I got to put you on the list. Yeah. I got to get out of here. Yeah. Because this is toxic.
Toxic.
Yeah, I'm going to go to the fire department, see what they talking about. Okay. Hang out there. And, things worked out. But since I did work for that moving company, actually, one of my business ventures, it was kind of under the table, but I worked for a really expensive moving company. Okay. So if they needed help doing anything else, I'm like, look, me and one of the guys can come back tomorrow, knock it out for you under the table. And that picked up. I thought I was done with the fire department, with the moving company when I got to the fire department. Yeah. But I was doing like 2 and 3 moves a week, working at the fire department and developing Juice Life and paying for everything. Like, I would do a move one day. Like, I would get off work in the morning, 7 o'clock from the fire department, 24-hour shift. Yeah. Go do a move probably at like 8 o'clock, from 8 to like 4 or 5. And then try to buy whatever I could buy for Juice Life and go back to work. And then I got a juice at some point. Yeah. So that was my other entrepreneurial
That's a lot of drive too. I think a lot of things that hold people back from entrepreneurship, besides the typical like fear and things like that, is the amount of work and dedication. And the stuff you're telling me is like the hours, countless hours you spent in the library, taking on the extra work, for the moving and things like that. Where do you think you got that kind of drive and that push from?
Honestly, I think that drive came from my mom for the most part. My mom, she passed in 2018. And I was still like, I wasn't sure if I was gonna keep doing Juice Life. I wasn't sure. I knew I was gonna keep juicing.
Okay. Personally.
Yeah. I know I was gonna keep juicing. I'm like, if I'm juicing and people keep asking me for it, I'm gonna give it to them. But most of my drive came from her side.
All right.
But she was a businesswoman. She did like she had her own. She did like what do you call them? Like she did like drapes.
Okay.
And she would reupholster couches, like everything, like anything for your house. She's dope with that.
Okay.
She was very creative and very driven. So I would see her doing stuff at like 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. I'm like, oh, you going hard, but I'm doing the same thing. Yeah. And so I'll be down the street juicing at my uncle's church before we got the kitchen, and I walk down the street and so. But that's where I got most of the drive from, and then that actually helped me because she had cancer. So that was part of what really got me digging into juicing and just learning more about it, and just spreading the word to my family. Like a lot of them eat differently. My dad tries out; he likes all my vegan food I make. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, again, that's where I got the drive from, and also like that really put a battery in me. Like when she passed, it was like, wow,
it's go time.
Yeah, because these were the only juices that she could keep down when she was going through.
Really?
That stuff, yeah. So I would go to the hospital, and I met a lot of people in there, nurses and stuff, who they stick around now and they get juice now too. So, but she's like the biggest part of that drive, though, for sure.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah.
What about your other family members? You said you've kind of, bled that lifestyle, onto them and things like that.
Yeah, cousins, all my brothers, my girlfriend, like everybody. Like, they want me to cook now. First, it was like, I don't eat that vegan stuff. I'm like, that's cool.
That's cool. Yeah.
That's fine. I'm not trying to force nothing on nobody.
Yeah.
But I know it smells good over here.
Yeah.
And you want to get down. I know you want to get down. And so, even when I was at the fire department, like, that changed a lot for, like, the people that were around me. Like, they became a little more conscious of their diet. And, just when you're around certain people, they're either going to make you better.
Yeah.
Or you're going to follow in their footsteps. Either way it goes. Yeah. Like, that energy's got to go somewhere. So, I was able to, help out a lot of people around me. Like, introduce them to juicing, too. Yeah. And so, there are some people now, as a result of, me just juicing and cooking the vegan stuff, like, they don't even take, some people don't take their blood pressure medicine. They drink the bee drop.
Okay. And it's bringing them down.
Yeah. Yeah. So
that's awesome.
Yeah, it's kind of dope.
Yeah, I know that your diet can literally change the way you live. My grandmother was diagnosed with diabetes, and she changed it just in her diet. So not vegan, but I say probably more so like pescatarian or something like that, and not juicing either. But I imagine what it could do for her if she, incorporated the juicing too. For sure. But she has no medicines, no insulin shots, and she was on all of that. But just simply changing her diet, and then the doctors were, astounded at how that can change. Yeah. And so I know that right now the way we're living in this world, everything's so fast. Yeah. And so a lot of times the reason we even eat fast food is because our lifestyle is just so busy. Like
convenience.
We just jump straight to it. Yep. So that's something I definitely want to wean myself off of too.
Yeah, for sure. And then that's the other thing about juicing too. A lot of people, they're like, I ain't got time for the cleanup. Yeah. Like, I ain't trying to clean up. Like, I'm juicing so much. I juice so much, and then I get like 3 drops from the spinach. Like, what y'all doing different? Yeah. Like, we juicing a lot of spinach. Okay. And we're using the cold press juicer. So you can just come in and you can, it can be convenient for you. And that's what a lot of people say. Like, I make my own sea moss, so I make my own juice, and but I ain't have time today. Well, perfect. Come on.
Yeah, come on.
Got you, bro.
Not only is it convenient, but it tastes way better. So, like,
man, putting some work in.
We got the one that we got the one, the centrifugal that you were talking about that spins around, right? And it gives a good amount of juice. We get a mason jar maybe about halfway full. Okay. And we do like ginger and then maybe pineapple or something like that. But when I tell you it's like, I'll take it, I'll drink it because I know I need to. But it don't taste like yours. It's it's like forcing myself to drink it. Throw some turmeric or something in there because I know my body needs it. But nowhere near the same. Then I got little grains of stuff in there too.
That's right. Yeah. So, we just try to make it so that, it's bearable. Yeah. And that it actually has enough of what it needs to do the right thing for you. So like beets, like a ton of people say I hate beets. Yeah. And I'm like, I wasn't a real big beet fan either. But there's a certain way to make it not taste as dirty. I don't want to give out all the secrets. Top secret. You want to take classified. But yeah, just just like a fine line of just adding a bunch of fruit to make it taste sweet. Okay. And actually, hitting that sweet spot. So we've been able to hit the sweet spot. Yeah.
Your store also has like a great vibe to it.
For sure.
So it's not like you're just going in to grab juice, but everybody has a culture and a good feel to it, even when you're not there. Yeah. So a lot of businesses run great when the owner's right there, right? But even when you're not there, they're still, I see them in there hustling and bustling. They're still courteous. They're friendly. I mean, it's got a great style to it. How do you go about picking your team and who you work with?
Well, so far the people who are there now, like we have a few new people who I haven't worked with outside of Juice Life before they got there. Okay. And they're like brand new, so we still training and stuff. But I got Tweety, who used to help me with moves, and moving is not fun at all. moving sucks. But it's something that, like you gotta have drive and you gotta be focused and you gotta be mentally and physically sharp. Yeah. Or you can trip up carrying a dresser or trip up falling and, you got a piano. Right. So Tweety helped me on a lot of stuff. His name is Alonzo. Elijah on Tweety, I'm sorry. That's okay. But Tweety's dope. He's got a good spirit. He works hard. Even when like we doing moves and it's getting dark outside, we got to get this stuff done. And so he takes the same approach in there. And then Nicole, that's my partner's cousin. Okay. And so I don't know how we just meshed like that, but they all have the right spirit and they're golden. Like I'm lucky to have them there for real. Also, we pray before every day, like before every session. Like I pray over every juice session. Okay. Because I'm like, I fasted for the idea. God gave me the idea. It doesn't make sense to try to edge him out now. Yeah. So, like every morning, I pray that everybody that comes in the juice bar, anybody that's connected to Juice Life, just has a better day. I pray that they have a change in attitude, spirit. I pray that they're healed physically, spiritually, emotionally, and if it's just a change of attitude for the rest of the day, let it be that. But anybody that comes in there is blessed. And I pray that all these juices are anointed and that the fruits and vegetables do what they're supposed to do and the body functions the way it's supposed to function. So I'm praying that every day. I believe it.
I believe it too. So I know you can't be no real blessed.
I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you. So but the first thing we do is thank God for the idea. Yes. Because that's where it really started. So we just try to make sure that we are grounded with everything and don't get a big head about it. Yeah. So.
Speaking of praying for something, a lot of times the idea that comes to us, God's ideas are obviously bigger than our ideas, right? So did you feel like it was overwhelming? Take me back all the way to, what did you say, 2015? 2015. When the idea first started, you wasn't obviously as confident then as you are now. So how'd you move forward with it?
Well, I prayed before and I fasted before. And I anytime you fast, like you're pretty much making a sacrifice. Yeah. I like all the food I was eating. I was fasting from alcohol, everything. Okay. And so these are sacrifices because sometimes you have a long day. You know what I'm saying? And you just want to drink. Yeah. You want a glass of wine. You want whatever. But I was in the fire training academy. Okay. Doing it. So we're doing the heaviest, like we're doing the craziest, extreme CrossFit workouts every morning, and then I'm taking the EMT class, and it's like a crash course of being in the hospital and being in the field. So we got that at the same time, and let's see, is that, and well, I prayed before, and I was like, yo, God, if you're real, then you got to come through on these things that I'm asking you for an idea and wisdom to go with it. That's it. I ain't asking you for the money. I ain't asking, you know what I'm saying? I'm asking you who I can help. So with that, I'm like, let's go there. Like, I got that faith and everything and that drive, all that whole combination with, I got that from my mom.
Yeah.
But she taught us all these things, all these different Bible verses that I've hid in my heart that come out when I have to cross a bridge. And I'm like, every time I get to a bridge, now I've already sacrificed. Like, we did these 40 days already. Yeah. So, Lord, I'm gonna need you. This was your idea. That's how I just kept placing it. I'm like, Lord, this is your idea. You know, I don't know how I'm gonna get across this hump, but I'm gonna get on your back. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So the whole time I'm like, I fasted for this, so it has to work because I know God real. Yeah. And so that's like, for real, like that's been my drive the whole time. I'm like, yo, all these things that have come together working for my good, it doesn't make sense for me to even think that it's gonna be a wrap. And like a lot of things that are happening now, I've seen. Like, I've already seen it. Like, I saw that, like, early, honestly. Like, in that first year, I saw different things. I was like, I don't know how that's going to make, like, I don't know how we're going to have a restaurant or how we're going to have a building or how we're going to do this or that. But that's not up to me.
To figure it out.
Yeah, that's not up to me.
You know it's coming.
Yeah. So that's why I'm like, we good. We good. We're going to be straight. Yeah. We're going to be good. Juice Life. That's why this one is called Juice Life RVA. It's going to be a lot of Juice Life, like, across the world. So, yeah.
It's awesome. Yeah, stepping out on faith is a powerful thing, man.
For sure.
When you talk about expanding, before you get to expanding outside of RVA, are you able to ship your juices, or is the shelf life not good for that? Or?
We're working on that part right now. I just the integrity of the juice is big to me, so we won't be able to ship across country yet. Okay. Probably like locally, as far as like maybe North Carolina and Maryland. Hopefully in the next few months we'll be able to do that. But I'm working on that part now. I just didn't want to, I practiced a little bit. I had some people in New York that wanted juice. And I was like, all right, I'm going to send it to you. We're going to figure this out. I'm going to send it to you. But it has to hurry up and get there. So you got to pay
the cost of overnight.
Yeah, all of that. So I was like, we'll figure it out. And people are making deliveries and, doing that already anyway. So it shouldn't be too hard to figure out. Yeah. So, but we will be delivering. For sure.
No. Yeah, you said we will be.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, yeah. Definitely. Without a doubt.
Yeah, no question. Yeah. No question.
Like the confidence.
Yeah, man. Yeah, God got it.
Yeah, God got it.
Oh, that's his job. That's his job. I ain't got to do it all that. Yeah.
So, all you got to do is do your part, do the work.
For sure.
Yeah. Don't worry about it.
Yep. So, yeah, man. It's going to be some big things coming out of Juice Life.
Are you from Richmond?
I'm from Richmond. Okay. Yeah, I grew up I first grew up in Churchill, and then we moved to Southside when I was like 7. So I pretty much grew up over Southside. Went to Richmond Community High School, played football at Georgia, went to VCU for a second, went to Union. So yeah, I've been here for a while. Okay. Yep.
No plans on leaving? Well, not now. Not with the business booming and all of that.
Yeah, not yet. I gotta make sure Austin can run the store.
you got a couple of days before Austin runs the store.
Yeah. And actually, the kids, like, man. My daughter runs the cash register. Like, she knows how to run the cash register. She's 9 years old right now. And Austin would get the juices and put them in the bag. But they only would get paid for the customer service. If they welcome the person in and, on the way out, come again, thank you so much. Yeah. And so that's how I've been trying to, incorporate them. That's Make it fun, because I don't want them to be coming to the juice bar and now they resent the juice bar because
you're always there.
So we had playoff games lately. Like, we've been going hard. Okay. So
adding them in is awesome, and not to mention the lessons that they're learning. Whether you're directly teaching them or just them being surrounded by it and engulfed in that culture, they're picking up so much stuff. Life lessons, entrepreneurship, budgeting, dealing with people, community. You know, all the people that are coming in there being affected by your store. They're learning all of that.
Yeah, I think it's important to make it second nature for them. Okay. So that's why I'm like, you're just gonna grow up in it. It's like growing up in a house full of lawyers and doctors. Like, you know a lot of that stuff already. So when it comes time to test for it, you got the edge. Yeah. So, and that's the test of life. Like, I want them to have an edge on life.
Yeah, you're giving them a great foundation, not only from a spiritual side, and keeping them, grounded in church, things like that, but the entrepreneur side. So your kids are gonna have a leg up, and it's going to be amazing when you see what they do.
I'm praying for the best. You know what I'm saying? Because with kids, you can just do what you can do. Just train them in the way that they should go. And now life is different when everybody's kids are different.
Yeah.
Parents are different. The way they approach things are different. Everybody gets a participation trophy. You get to hear their opinions and stuff.
Yeah.
My opinion wasn't always valued.
Nah, I know that.
Boy, if you don't go sit down, you don't want to eat this food. Okay, well, you want to eat these grits for dinner.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm like, okay,
That's how,
now I have an appreciation for food.
Yeah.
Now I'm eating too much.
Yeah, I remember sitting at the table for literally over an hour because I didn't want to eat.
Man.
And it's like, no, you're gonna eat until it's gone.
Straight up, tears in the eyes and everything. That was me.
Or go to bed hungry. That's the choice.
I learned how to get up from the table. I learned how. I ate all my food, man.
Yeah. But then that teaches a bad habit too. Now that I've gotten older, the bad habit is now you got to overeat. You got to eat everything that's on your plate.
Yep.
And then get obesity and things like that from it. But man. I know where it came from, not wanting to waste. And I grew up, like a lot of us with low resources, low income, and you can't just be wasting food.
Yeah, real situation. You gotta eat that food.
Yeah, you gonna
straight up. This food is not free. I tell them they always want to stop by Chick-fil-A. That's the other nemesis, but well, not Austin. Austin's not a Chick-fil-A person. Savannah, she likes Chick-fil-A when she's not pescatarian. Okay, but Austin, he's not with it.
You said when she's not
pescatarian. I mean, she
depends what stage of the roller coaster we go.
Yeah. She's
but she learning. So.
Yeah, doing yoga and everything. I'm telling you, these kids are dope.
Yeah, for
real. So I'm proud of them, man. I'm proud of them. I did my part. Mom did her part. So we still working on them. So,
yeah, that's what's up.
For sure.
At Union, you played football too, or only in high school?
I didn't play football. I actually, I had a track scholarship at Union. I didn't find out about it until I went to VCU. Yeah, I didn't even run. I wasn't even on the track team. I ran track one time, indoor, and I did pretty good. And got a scholarship to Union. So when I got to Union, I already had a student ID.
How you run one time and get a whole scholarship?
Man, Richmond Public Schools, boy, something else. But I was fast. I was really fast. And I had football scholarships too, but I ended up going to VCU because they're about to add their football team. They're still doing now. And they're still undefeated. And I haven't lost a game with VCU, so yeah. I missed that college football experience, but I did play semi-pro one year. I played with Virginia Vipers.
Virginia Vipers.
Yeah, so that was pretty cool. I was 27. I hadn't played since I was 17, but everything was still working. I was like,
everything was still working.
Yeah, but then it's like, all right. Now
what position you play?
I played running back.
Okay. Yeah, I
running back
with the track.
Kick return. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so that was fun. Yeah, man. So I'm alive. I still work out. We got a thing called Juice Life Fitness. Okay. That's coming soon.
What is that all about?
Pretty much highlighting other trainers in the city. A lot of people ask me, am I a trainer? I'm like, no, I'm not a trainer, but I do work out. I want to be in the best shape of my life forever. But right now, I don't have time to do that. But I can highlight other good trainers. So each month we'll be working out with a different trainer. This month we're working out with Vern, the trainer. She works out of Allen Fitness Yoga. Okay. The next month I want to work with one of the local boxers. So we'll do that training and then do some with the firefighters too. So
I know firefighters. All they do is train.
I'm telling you, they're
supposed to, right? I mean, I get it.
Some of them, most of them, the majority of us wonderful heroes work out. Yeah, some people work out. They got table muscle.
Oh, okay, I got you. Flicking the remote, thumbs are strong.
Yeah, scooping that chili.
Yeah. So. Where do y'all work out at? Whatever gym y'all partner with, or is there a specific place?
Well, I always work out at Baker Unified Fitness. That's right across the hall from the juice bar. So we got that shared space, and then one side is a gym, a personal training gym. Okay. Where they do group activities, they do one-on-one, couples training, everything. Do everything over there. So I work out there a lot, but we'll just go to the facility where the trainer is for the most part. So Baker's spot is easy because it's right there. Yep. So we did a thing with Baker too, and of course we just we'll keep working out with him because it's easy just to walk across the hall. Yeah. But yeah, we'll be moving around. So when we do the firefighter thing, I still got to talk to some of the guys, but pretty much we can just go to the station. Every station has a gym. Yeah. So we'll figure that out.
I want to try to connect with y'all on that as much as possible. I'm rolling up on 40, man. I'm 30.
Okay.
I'm 39 years old.
Word.
So my goal is to never let my waistline be higher than my age.
There you go.
You know, and
Okay.
I want to maintain. I was in the Army, so much like being a firefighter. You know, we work out. At least you're supposed to. Right? Same thing. Most of us worked out. Yeah. And so I just don't want to lose that. So if I could join y'all, you know, as much as possible.
Definitely.
Then
I do the steps a lot too.
What do you mean steps?
The Libby Hill death steps.
Oh, those steps. Okay. Yeah.
They are, you know, I had to embrace them. Like things that I didn't like. Like I didn't like doing pull-ups, so I would do as many pull-ups as I could. Just keep throwing that in there.
Okay.
And then I worked out on the steps. I'm like, all right, I got the steps down.
All right.
So when we do the steps, just prepare yourself.
That's a serious leg day, man.
Yeah. We might have to sign some paperwork on that one, but.
Well, as long as I get some juice after the fact, it's like a bounce back.
I got you, man. I got you, bro. I got you. Summer Friends, that's the good one for after the workout.
Yep.
We use the watermelon rind, citrulline, amino acids, things good for recovery. So I always would do the watermelon. I would always do Summer Friends after I work out.
Okay.
But a lot of times I would do beat drop before. So beat drop was like my pre-workout. Yeah, I couldn't sit down. So.
All right, well, I'll get both of them.
For sure, I got you, man.
So one thing I like to do on Success Leaves Clues podcast is point out some of the clues that I found from you.
Okay.
Right. And, you know, certain clues to success is one, fasting in your faith, you know, played a big part. Mm-hmm. Two, I really feel like, you know, taking action. Mm-hmm. That's the term I'm looking for, because you really go for it. A lot of us have ideas but never act on them. Mm-hmm. And one of my biggest fears is dying with a whole bunch of ideas, right? Or a whole bunch of desire.
For sure.
I'd rather do it and not be the greatest at it, and I know I tried it, right? Yep. And then the other thing I've really learned from you is just family and community. You do a lot with family and community, for sure. And I feel like that has helped fuel your success. Yeah. And, you know, I hope our viewers have picked up those same clues, and maybe even more clues that I didn't even point out. And we can help a lot more people be successful, you know, by taking the steps that you've taken.
For sure. I definitely appreciate that, man. And just to piggyback on what you said about the ideas, that's one thing that I don't play about ideas. Because when they come, like sometimes the universe will drop the idea in your spirit. And if you don't do it, somebody else is going to do it. I've seen like 3 or 4 things that I wanted to do since like 2005, 2006. I actually wrote out, I created a whole school, the mission statement. For real, like a Christian school, private school. But outside of that, I was doing a thing called richcity.com with a few of my friends that I would mention business ideas to. Okay. Or we would just come together, brainstorm and stuff. Richcity.com is going to be something where it's kind of like, what's the name of my people who do brunch on the plaza? Faith in them. Unlocking RVA. Unlocking RVA, yeah. And they dope. And they doing, like, some of the ideas I had. I'm like, man, I had a sweet shirt that said richcity.com, and we had a whole thing, but we didn't act on it like we should have. You know what I'm saying? And when that happens, somebody else is going to pull up with it. And it was that. And I had, like, a mentorship idea. It's like 4 or 5 different things. I'm like, I will never miss another opportunity like this again. I ain't letting that happen. I'm not.
I like that.
I'm not. Straight up. You know what I'm saying? So when you have an idea, act on it. Act on it. Jump out there, and like sometimes you don't get the help you need. Some people don't act on ideas because they don't feel like they have the help they need. Mm-hmm. But sometimes until you move in the direction of where you're supposed to be going, the helping hand won't show up. The helping hand might be right over there, and that's where you're supposed to be. Mm-hmm. But you're sitting there thinking like, I don't know, I'm second guessing. Meanwhile, you're still living.
Have you ever noticed that once you engulf yourself in a particular community, then you start, like you're saying, that helping hand is there. You start to find more resources. Yeah. So, for example, there's once you get into a world of like real estate, for example, then you just start meeting people. You're like, oh, you're a developer. You develop this community. Oh, you're a landlord, and you start meeting these people, but you never knew them until you reached out into that world. Yeah. And entrepreneurship, you're like, okay, well, I don't know any entrepreneurs. I don't really know how to do this. But you get into that world, and you're like, oh. He owns this business. He's a distributor. They can package my stuff. They can do this, but the resources have been there the whole time.
I'm telling you. And then, like, a lot of times, like, I know a lot of people are getting blessed by, working with Juice Life. Okay. And had I not acted on my idea, then I would be holding up their ideas. You know what I'm saying? Things that develop from that.
Yeah.
So that's why it's important to like, you know, stay on top of it. Like if you have an idea, push it. Let somebody know if you got to. Like and like sometimes I'll like say something on Instagram just to put it out. So I'll have accountability partners.
Yeah.
Some people like, oh, you showing off. No, I'm doing this so y'all can, because I know some of y'all will be like, you said you was going to do this. Thank you. I need that.
I need that.
I need that, man. I appreciate it. I take all motivation. Like, all motivation. Like, I put it out there.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I definitely don't feel that you show off or really anybody who posts stuff like that. Certain people, the right people are going to take that and receive it the right way.
That's only...
The wrong people, they're going to take it and be like, oh, well, you showing off. Well, if I don't show off, how are you ever going to know that it's something that you could do or that it's out there? Somebody, you know, had to share certain things with me for me to be like, oh, dang, I didn't even know, you know, that opportunity was possible. That job was possible. That income level was possible. That lifestyle is possible.
Yep.
And so you gotta see it. Yeah.
And I felt like it was like really important for me to make sure that I left the fire department and went full time, because if I hadn't, like, I felt like a lot of people would ask me different business advice. I'm like, who am I to be asking? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I would just tell them what I know, and I'm like, yo, create a script and stick to it. You know what I'm saying? And part of my script was 3 to 5 years at the fire department. And so if I didn't do that, then I'd be going back on my word and like everything I'm, you know, putting out there for other people to work with. You know what I'm saying? So
why was it 3 to 5 years? Why 3 to 5?
I said 3 first, and I was telling one of the firefighters about it because he was like, "Oh, you make juice? You got this? I heard you got this." And I was like, "Yeah, you know." So I want to, you know, like I really want to push and go in. I got all these ideas. Like I was trying to get ready for the bike race of 2015.
Okay.
And I had just got the food truck ready like a month before that, but I had permits. I just had a lot of stuff I didn't even know about that I had to do. So I was telling him about that, and I was like, yeah, I'm gonna give it like 3 years, because I feel like I just felt like, you know, 3 years, if I'm not all the way turned up like I need to be for this juice bar, then I need to slide.
Okay.
Like I need to get out of there. But I was saying 3 because I felt like, well, my first rookie year, I wasn't gonna have time to really work the cart like that, because we got tests every week and everything else. So he was like, look, just fall back for this first year, one of the older firefighters. Yeah. And I was like, yeah, so I'm gonna do like 3 years. He's like, well, give it 5. I didn't know he was telling me 5 because 5 is when you're vested. So
he dropped some wisdom on.
He dropped that.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, I appreciate you, big dog.
So what do you do once you're vested? You can go back or something?
You can leave. Like let's say you stay there for 10 years. We get severance. I mean, not severance. We get
pension or something?
Pension. Yeah.
Okay.
We get pension. And so after that, like you get a certain amount. Once you reach the retirement age, then you start getting a check for the rest of your life.
Okay.
So I'm like, there's no point in leaving money on the table.
Yeah.
I mean, I've been here. I've been putting in work in the fire department, and I've like 5 years is when you are like really kind of settled in. Then you can like you're really a firefighter. Like you really start to like you get a little bit comfortable with some things. You know what I'm saying? You never want to get comfortable with fire, but you get comfortable with the job more so. So I'm like, I just hit the 5th year. I'm like, I could, you know, slow it down and do this for Juice, like slow Juice Life down and stick with the fire department. But I'm like, time is ticking. Like I wanted to do what I'm doing now some years ago. Yeah. And it was like, I could have really just jumped out on faith with that right then. But it's like the fire department is such a opportunity that nobody wants to miss. I'm like, the worst thing I can do is go to the interview and they hire me. But I've never been to an interview that I didn't get hired at.
Wow.
So I was like, this is the one time I didn't care. The one time I didn't care. Like, you're doing a great job.
And still got
it. I'm like, yo, too, man. And so, yeah. So, but after that 5th year, my 5th year ended in June of 2020. So October was when I felt like my ducks were somewhat in a row. Or really not even all the way in a row. It was just like, all right, man, make your mind up. Because now it's time to pick up, and now I have a spot, and people were taking pictures saying, hey, look, I'm here. Where you at? I want to support. I want y'all to support. I'll be there. So, yep.
All right. Well, thanks for sharing with us. And I want to remind everybody out there, if you can dream it, you can achieve it. Until next time on the Success Leaves Clues podcast.
For sure.
Appreciate you, man.
Thank you, man. Appreciate you, man.